Volvo claims its new S60 is good enough to take on anything the Germans have to offer. But is it really? I think this calls for a bit of a group test. To find out just how good the S60 is, I will be comparing it to a couple of Teutonic heavyweights, the Audi A4 and BMW 3 Series. But before we get into the nitty-gritty comparison stuff, I must point out that the Swedish machine has a headline-grabbing USP. Volvo's are synonymous with safety, and you can get the S60 with a clever piece of kit which can spot if there's a pedestrian in the road, and it will automatically brake the car to stop you hitting them at speeds of up to 20 miles an hour. To show you how it works, I'm going to have to ask my cameraman to just go, well, stand in the road. Right then, you can also see this from the point of view of my very brave, or very stupid cameraman. Now if I do nothing, apparently the car will sound a warning, and then if I still do nothing, it should brake, so let's hope it does. Oh. Thankfully it worked, otherwise this video would be over rather quickly. But while clever safety equipment is all well and good, it's never going to be as big a selling point as a car's design. Thankfully for Volvo, the S60 is easy on the eye. It has a pretty face and a pert bottom. However, from side on, it somehow seems a little bit chubby, especially when you compare it to the sleek A4. There can be no denying the Audi is the catwalk model of the compact executive car class, and while the more common 3 Series may look a bit girl next door by comparison, well, you still would, wouldn't you? But what's most important in this class is how a car drives. As well as safety, Volvos are also famous for being really comfortable, and the S60 is no exception. I mean, it's really quiet, it's really refined, and these seats, they're almost as comfy as those in my lounge. But what you don't expect from a Volvo is for it to be engaging to drive, but the S60 is the most dynamic Volvo ever. I mean, it goes around corners really well, there's loads of grip, it doesn't roll about at all, and the steering, it's very sharp. But is the S60 as thrilling to drive as a 3 Series? No. Oh man, sorry, I've just totally forgot I should actually say something. I got a bit carried away having too much fun, but that's the thing with the 3 Series, you see, it's just so entertaining to drive that you sometimes just take a detour from the motorway to go on a twisty road such as this, because I mean, it just handles so well, there's so much grip. But my favourite bit is the steering, because it's so responsive and it has so much feel to it. So where does the Audi fit in? The A4 is quiet and refined at speed, and it's also comfortable over a long distance, which makes it a great motorway cruiser. However, it's also good in town as well, because all the controls are nicely weighted. I mean, the gearbox is very positive and easy to use, and the steering is particularly light, which makes it great for doing U-turns in town such as that. Yet, when you get back on the open road, it weights up again. And when the going gets twisty like it has done now, the A4 handles really well. I mean, no body rolling corners at all, and there's loads of grip, even with the front wheel drive version such as this. But if you need more, you can get an all-wheel drive Quattro model. You can also get a 4x4 version of the Volvo, the T6 Turbo Petrol. However, this particular car has the new D3 2-litre diesel engine, which is the pick of the range. But while it's good, it's not quite as good as the 2-litre units in the Audi or BMW. As for the interior, well, the Volvo has plenty of style, is well built, and feels slightly roomier inside than either the BMW or the Audi. And with prices starting at just over 23 grand and generous levels of equipment, you get slightly more for your money with the Swede compared to the 2 Germans. So then, what is the overall outcome of our group test? Well, first place, that has to go to the BMW 3 Series, because it really does define the class. But second place, it's the Audi A4, which means the S60 is actually last. But that doesn't mean it isn't a great car, because, well, it is. It's just not quite as good as the other 2.